You know how you see, you people from other parts of the world, you don't know these Ugandans. You see them there, you don't know how complicated they are. Some of these people are spoiled by nature. Uganda is so nice. Even if you are a fool, you can survive here. In other parts of the world, if you are a fool, you die, and the matter is resolved. But here, people don't work. They just go and stay with I'm going to see my relatives. We see them what? Are they sick or what? He just goes and stays eating free things. Then after 3 months, then he goes to see other people. They're always doing that. So we have been begging them, please, all of you. And then these economists, World Bank and that group, also come and add to the confusion. They talk of what they call subsistence economy. That there is economy where you are only working for the stomach. But if you work only for the stomach, for eating, how about the pocket? How about the pocket? How about your non-food needs? You cannot believe it. You tell these visitors, please, don't hide from them. Tell them the truth. That in 1969, when we had the census, only 4% of the people were in the money economy. Imagine that. Only 4% were in the money economy. The other 96% were in what they call non-monetary GDP. These are things that people outside Africa don't know, especially outside Uganda, because Uganda is where you can live doing nothing, because the nature is so good. Then when we came into government, we started struggling, but the intellectuals don't take it up. The intellectuals who are with us in the universities, for them, they go just in the small area. I'm a lawyer, open an office. They don't get the social economic context. So some of us who took on this battle, we go on fighting. Now, by 2013, you can imagine, 68% of the homesteads were still outside the money economy. 68% of the homesteads are not in the money economy. The ones in the money economy are only 32%. So that's when I had to involve the army. These people are witnesses, the judges here of Uganda. I had to involve the army, to persuade people to get out of poverty. They have land. You ask these Europeans whether any of them has got land at home. You ask them, do you have land at home? They don't have land. The ones who have land are very few. But here, even the most not so useful person has got land. They have land. 3 acres, so many acres, some even 10 acres, 100 acres. So we have been begging them, please, use the land for food security, but also for money making. And that's how I involved the army. You take them to their homes, you plant coffee, please. We beg you. Now I hear that when that U-boss, the one you were talking about, when they checked recently, they found that 61% of the homesteads are now in the money economy for the first time in human history. 61% of the homeless in Uganda are in the money economy. The ones outside, just sitting, just eating and sleeping, 39% still. So we have now launched that campaign, the recent one, of the parish development model, to get this 39% also in the money economy. Because that is the second route to change the woman. The first route is education, universal free education. Because an educated woman knows what to do. And it's not easy to deceive or to confuse or to misuse. But secondly, business, money, economy. Okay, we still have some tactical issues there. Like it is true that because of the other archaic, the old scheme, we still have problem of inheritance for the girls. The girls are not, according to the tribal, the girls are not supposed to inherit. It is the boys. Of course, me, I don't respect that. Me, my girls, they have their share. And of course, there were reasons also for that. There were reasons, but we don't have time to go into all that. So we can struggle with that. But once the concept of, because even the boy who has inherited is not engaged in money economy. Even the boy you say has inherited land, he's not involved in money economy. So, but once they all wake up and they are engaged in money economy, and then it only remains the problem of the girls accessing land. That is simple, because we can use different tactics. We can rent land, we can do this. As we struggle with the culture of the old skin, Now, when I heard that there were judges, women judges from East Africa, and now you say they are from Africa, I thought they were from East Africa. So I'm very lucky to be here with you. Apart from telling you about the old skin and the new wine, maybe I should also conclude by 3 points. When we separated with our colleagues, the lawyers, the boys and girls who are studying with us, we who took the line of freedom fighting took time to study about the socio-economic issues. And we identified 3 issues. Number 1, prosperity. How do societies build prosperity? And it ties, of course, with what we are discussing here. Can you ensure human rights and democratic rights? Because for us, we are very systematic. We distinguish human rights from democratic rights. I don't have time to go into that, but there are some fundamental human rights, but there are also democratic rights and so on. We have got our own culture of doing things. But the question is, without prosperity, with a pre-industrial, a pre-capitalist economic system, can you ensure prosperity of people and ensure the human rights of the people? Secondly, how can we guarantee strategic security in Africa? And thirdly, how about the fraternity of the African people? How do we use it to achieve prosperity and also strategic security? That's why we go back and say, what do you need as a family to create prosperity in your family? And our answer is, produce a good or a service and you sell it. In other words, learn what the French had learned more than 200 years ago. Because when the French had a revolution in 1779, there was already a class of the middle class, not only in France, but even in other countries of Europe. But France is a good example because it was well captured in that revolution of 1789. So, if you learn the culture of producing a good banana bunch, a soap, whether it is produced by agriculture, whether produced by industry, it is a good. Or a service. Lawyers provide a service of okuwolereza ndi n'ekizibu kyange jangu ompoleza omusango. So you are service providers, you people. So therefore, we, the freedom fighters, and our elders, the ones who are following, Mwalimu Nyerere, Mandela, those who are a bit older than us, what we are telling you was that when you produce a good or a service and you sell it, the more you sell, the more prosperous you will become. Produce a good, produce a service, sell it. And the more you sell, the more prosperous you will become. So what does this mean? It means market integration. You cannot say that you are East African lawyers, judges, what, and you don't understand and you don't care about the integration of East Africa, about the integration of Africa. Because then the question is, if you don't integrate, how will prosperity be created? Because you know very well that if you don't have enough market of what you produce, you will not expand. The other day at our independence, I asked you a question, I asked all of you a question, you the intellectuals. I said, are you determined to build a Latin America in Africa or a United States of Africa in Africa? I asked you that question. I have not had any answer. They have all kept quiet. Nobody has answered me. Nobody has said you are talking nonsense. Nobody has said you are talking sense. So I don't know what. I have not checked on the social media what they are saying. Latin America is a very rich part of the world. They have water, they have land, and even in some cases political, if it is possible. But the third and final question is, by the way, the people we are talking of integrating, do you know that they are similar people or linked people who are very easy to integrate? And in our case, we even have Swahili, which is a non-tribal language, which is shared by the whole of much of East Africa. We are not like the Europeans. In the European Union, they are stuck. When they are in the European Union, what language do you speak? Do you speak German? Do you speak English? Do you what? For us, we can use Swahili. So therefore, I think it is all right to discuss about rights, but I think it is more correct to discuss rights with discussing the foundation of the society, so that you can be able to have a new society, a new container for the new wine, not an old container for the new wine. Now, the speaker from the Austrian embassy raised the question of the confusion which was here on the 18th, 19th, 20th of November 2020, just as we were going for the elections. Again, we go back to the superstructure and the foundation. Uganda is, we have been able to build a state which is able to guarantee safety in Uganda, to maintain peace. This is not easy because we had to deal first of all with the resource base, have enough funds to support the system, the civil administration, but also the security side. That's why for us, we don't call the UN to come and defend us here. We cannot call the UN that we can't defend ourselves, you come and defend us. We defend ourselves. We maintain internal security ourselves. We maintain the borders by ourselves, according to our means. But we have also been dealing with the culture. So therefore, as part of Gyros, you need to understand that really the challenges which we have in the pre-capitalist societies. Remember, these are pre-capitalist societies. They are societies before traditional societies of Africa, which were based on different ideas. Part of our struggle is to build capacity. Capacity, technical, but also cultural. You see, for instance, take the phenomenon of security personnel, policemen, soldiers, beating prisoners. It's a struggle. These are recruited, but they are recruited from the traditional society. They come to the army, to the police, but they come with traditional ideas, which you try to get rid of by talking, and even by law. But it's a struggle. Because these people know that in our languages here, they say, akabwa kaiba, akabwa kabbi, kakola iki? Kakola ki akabwa kabbi? Kagumya mugongo. Meaning that a stealing dog pays with its back. When you find a dog stealing food, you beat it. So a thief must be beaten. A suspect must be beaten. Because it is being punished for stealing. But we are trying to say, so you beat him as a punishment. But we are telling this policeman, please, your job is not to punish. Your job is simply arrest and charge. The one to punish is another one. It's not you. It's a struggle to make these people see that your job is simply to arrest, to investigate. The job of punishing will be done by somebody else. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It must be done. It is in the law, it is very clear, it is in the Constitution, separation of powers, but for them, it doesn't sink in their system. Now, then you come to Oktatia. Oktatia, traditionally, it was permissible to beat a suspect until he admits. You tell us, who did this? You know? Now, we are telling them that this is not necessary. Even if, because for them they think that if he doesn't admit, the case will be weak in the court. So it's better you beat him so that he admits, and then the case is strong. But this concept, and it is there in the traditional society, it is there the issue of circumstantial evidence. It is there but a little bit weak. It is there. For instance, there is a proverb which says, meaning that, how is it that when my sheep disappeared, the hyena defecated